All right, so I'm Ahmad Malik, former orthopedic surgeon. I got invited here, so I didn't have a choice. I had to come. But basically, I really respect UK Column and what they do, and they've been doing it for many years now. I know Debbie Evans. I trust these people. They're good people. And when I got invited, I thought, wow, that's an honour. I'll come down. So that's why I'm here.
And most people will know you from being a doctor who sort of woke up to a lot of what was going on.
Yeah.
What was it that woke you up, may I ask?
Man, it depends. So there's a process of awakening, and I started waking up to things weren't right after 9/11. But then I watched a movie called Zeitgeist. I don't know if you ever remember that.
I've heard of it, but I don't think
Oh,
I've seen
you
it.
need to watch it. So it's all about the fiat currency system and how the economies work. And that was like a big eye-opener. So I started having doubts about the world that we were in. 2010s,
Yeah.
I think I started waking up to it. Something wasn't right in the world. It just didn't make sense. It felt like the game was rigged against us. And then the pandemic just put the icing on the cake. It was like the cherry. It was like, right, this is just BS.
Straight away?
No, I fell for it for a couple of weeks. You know, I fell for the fear porn. I was like wearing a mask before anyone else was. But then when everyone was wearing the mask, I was tearing it off. So I kind of did everything back to front. But no, very quickly when the lockdown happened and they said stay at home until you die practically, I thought this goes against everything that, you know, we learn in medicine. And in the medical world, I was already waking up to certain things. You know, I was very disillusioned with the NHS. I was very disillusioned with how we didn't treat things like diabetes and stress and anxiety and depression through lifestyle and diet. It was all just pharmaceutical drugs. So I left the NHS in 2017 very disillusioned. So I was already in a place where I was questioning a lot of what we were doing in medicine, and then the pandemic just blew everything apart. And then the COVID shots, when I started seeing the harms and the mandates, when the mandates came, I was just so, it was such an affront. It was just a complete breach of medical ethics. So I was very angry about it, and I didn't understand why no one else was speaking up about it in my medical world, my community.
So did you actually have people coming in to you who'd been harmed?
Yeah.
As a doctor?
Yeah.
How many people did you have come in who'd been harmed?
Look, lots. You know, people who had cancer 10 years ago, had the booster, and then got turbo cancer and died within 2 months. You know, they were cleared of cancer and then suddenly just came back. Diagnosing unusual neurological conditions like Parkinson's and MS, and people that I normally don't do in a year. You know, I would not normally see that kind of stuff, but suddenly I'm seeing like 4 or 5 of them in a year. Nurses coming up to me and telling me how their nephew died of a heart attack at the age of 28. You know, my kickboxing instructor has a twin brother. He died at the age of 29 of a heart attack after his shots. You know, this isn't normal. I've never heard of this before. You know, standing at the local duck pond and seeing a man with a big swollen leg, and I go, oh, you got a clot in your leg? He goes, oh, I know. Oh, you've been traveling? No. Have you had any shots? Yeah, a few weeks ago. Huh. So, you know, it just went on and on. Colleagues of mine saying how busy their neurological clinics were, and I said, why? Oh, it's all the vaccine injuries. Are you doing anything about it? Yeah, I'm telling them not to take the shot. Are you doing anything more? Are you speaking up about this? Oh God, no, I can't do that. And I was like, why not? Don't be silly. And that was what was really upsetting. So doctors are scared to speak up on behalf of patients and warn about a problem. Why? Because they're scared? What does that tell you about the system?
What percentage of the people you're working with were aware that there were problems?
Honestly, I don't know. I think probably 80-90% of them have totally drunk the Kool-Aid and are indoctrinated. Maybe 10% of them are awake but just too scared to say anything. But you know, it's interesting. One of the recent rounds of COVID and flu shots, you know, 70% of people said no in the medical field. So what does that tell you? They clearly know something's not right. They don't want it. But the same people who were not taking the shot were happy jabbing other people. What does that tell you?
Is it all about money then? Or is there something else behind it?
I don't know. I'm not these sick psychopaths. I'm not organising it. I think, look, a lot of it is driven by money. But these people already have a lot of money. So there must be something else. And what that is, we can only hypothesize. But they talk about it. They think there's too many of us. They think we're useless. But there's also profit and misery and sickness and control. So I don't know. I'm not a psychopath, so I don't know what goes through their minds.
Well, what happened to you when you started speaking out?
I got bullied and harassed, threatened with investigations, with sanction. I got eventually referred to the GMC, and then I got suspended over bullshit technicalities, and then another suspension based on potential anti-Semitism, not of me but of a guest of mine, which was eventually cleared, and that suspension lasted 5 months. I mean, it's just bullshit. It's just, you know, my
Trial
life got
by ordeal.
Yeah, my life got turned upside down. Very impeccable clinical record, well-respected surgeon, excellent doctor, never been in trouble at all. And then suddenly, the moment I just start speaking out, boom, life changes, and you just think, right, so this is how it works. Toe the line, you're okay. The moment you question and start ruffling feathers, you're decapitated. Not, physically, but from a career point of view.
Yeah, academically, you might say,
Yeah.
medically.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is the solution to the system that we got now?
I talked about it in my speech. They should read my Substack. I've posted it on there. That's an hour chat. Basically, people need to be brave and do the right thing.
Beautiful. And where can people find your podcast for anyone who hasn't seen it yet?
Go to docmalik.com, docmalik.com, and it's got all the links like to Apple, Spotify, Rumble, Substack, all that kind of stuff.
Cool. And you enjoyed today being here at UK Column?
It's been so boring, it's unbelievable. No, of course, I loved it. It's great.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
No.
Thank you. Join our Patreon and get access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content. You can see everything behind the scenes.
We're talking about mobile phones and how dangerous they are.
Our podcasts, our guests, and any other bits that we pick up along the way that we don't put on the main channel. You can also see any bits that we do with Defiance Records. So please do support us and just help us do what we do, and thanks to everyone who does support us. But yeah, we could do with more help. Please do join us. Consider coming down to our upcoming Resistance GB Live. You can meet the guests, you can engage. We've got Kate Chemrani supported by fantastic freedom band Whom by Fire. It's Thursday, 31st of October, down at Finsbury Park's The Night Owl. Doors open 5:30. We'll see you there.